Yes, sir. Day two is a banger. You know what it is already, so we're just going to hop right in. This is our 31 days. We're going all of October, every single day. We're just as many horror films, as many thrillers, as many suspenseful movies that will get us on the edge of our seat, our jaws dropping, a lump in our throat, well, whatever else you want to say. Just those type of movies. So we are going to eventually get more obscure. We're gonna have some fan favorites. We're gonna have some that you don't even know or consider horror movies that I might be able to sneak in. So for today, for October 2nd, we're gonna hop right in. We got The Purge. The Purge. I'm pretty sure I've seen the first three in theaters. The trilogy is amazing. The first trilogy is amazing. I still have to watch the fourth one and the fifth one. So the first Purge and the Forever Purge. But we'll get to those. We're talking about Purge 1 still. It really is just about a family. If you guys don't know what the Purge movies are about, it's basically one night a year, the government allows basically anything to happen. Killing, all that type of stuff is legal for 12 hours one night. And there are no ambulances, medical facilities, anything like that running. So basically, it's just a free-for-all. And that can be very scary because it plays on the feelings a lot of how you would feel in those situations. There's some jump scares. There's some intense kills. There's a little bit of everything, especially in the first two, I want to say. The first two are my favorite. Number two has a lot going on. Like, it feels like it could be a couple different movies. Like, you'll notice I'll say that a couple different movies, because it's like some of these movies kind of can get away with sticking to, like, one group, if that makes sense. And then some of these movies, they'll try and intertwine, like, 2 or 3 or 4 storylines, and that's pretty good. But sometimes in horror movies, it's a little much. But they did okay. They did I'd say better than okay for the second one. The third one, it's a storyline. I don't want to get too much into it because I don't want to ruin anything. I would say they get worse as they go on, but I would still watch those first 3. I can't say too much about 4 and 5, but definitely give those first 3 a chance. Number 1 has Ethan Hawke in it, and he's just a really good actor that I enjoyed. Other than that, there's not really any big name actors or actresses in this. There are some familiar faces, of course, that you'll have seen through other movies. But really, the big name would have been probably Ethan Hawke for the first one. And then the first one is just so good. It's obvious that they wanted to explore and expand. So yeah, if you haven't seen those, or if you have and it's been a while, definitely give those another chance. Even if you didn't like them, but you liked aspects of them, they even made a TV show. So there is a TV show that you can go and check out. I've watched the first couple episodes years ago, and then I just never got back into it. But I remember thinking it was pretty decent. And then, yeah, hopefully later on throughout the month, we'll be able to go and check off the first Purge and the Forever Purge, and then I'll be able to give my 2 cents on those. But, yeah, the first one, I would say any horror buff, or even just thriller, suspense buff, people who really like the home invasion type shows, movies, those, and I would say even like the murder documentaries. Like, I feel like if you like those, you would like The Purge, at least the first one. I very much enjoy the second one. Second one might be my favorite, just because it explores even more into the universe. And then the third one, they get more and more political, as you can tell by the covers. But yeah, I would just say still pretty solid. Watch them all. So the Purge movies came out in 2013, 13 was the first one. The second one was The Purge Anarchy. That came out in 2014. The third one was The Purge Election Year. That came out in 2016. The first Purge came out in 2018. And then The Forever Purge came out in 2021. So you can see they're pretty spaced out, except for the first two. They came out back to back. And then it's every 2, 2, and 3 years. So it looks like they put a decent amount of time in between those last two, and they didn't just rush them out. So probably have some good storylines behind it. But yeah. Now we'll move on. I do want to get into the years and stuff too, just for myself. Like, I like to know what years movies come out. But anyways, yeah. I Know What You Did Last Summer came out in 1997. That's what we're going to be talking on now. Me and Joe just watched the first one. It has Freddie Prinze Jr. And it also has Sarah Michael Gellar, who, if you guys don't know, that is Fred and Daphne from the Scooby-Doo movies. The first two IRL movies. So that was pretty cool. I never realized that the first time. Ryan Felipe is also in this movie, and he... Is it Felipe or Philip? Either way, I'm a fan of his. Okay? And then you have Muse Watson. Is it like... This movie is pretty stacked. You also have Jennifer Love Hewitt. I didn't even mention Jennifer Love Hewitt. She's the main actress. This movie is pretty stacked. I was happy with it. I've seen it before, but rewatching it, especially after all these years, I know the remake just came out, so a bunch of people have probably watched this recently. And I haven't watched the remake yet. So, this one, awesome movie, stands out. It has a 5.8 IMDb and a 46 Rotten Tomatoes. I feel like people are just nitpicking everything these days. It's a solid movie. It's not too dated. It's perfect. It's like the Scream genre. Of course, it's made by the writer. Is it the writer, the director of Scream? So, yeah, it falls like, if you like the Scream movies, you're gonna love these movies. Now, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I feel like I've watched it, not too memorable, because I don't remember anything. And I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. As they go on, you can see the IMDb and the Rotten Tomatoes just get worse and worse. But take that with a grain of salt, because if you like what you like, you're gonna probably still enjoy certain parts of it. Definitely seems like they probably cashed out on it, but still go and give those a try. I'm gonna try and get through them hopefully later on this month. The first one is basically the main one you want to watch. At least you got to check that off the list. A lot of these scary movies, horror films, thrillers, suspense films, they make so many of them, and honestly, I would say before, like, that they're all trash. But now I'm actually getting into the genre and seeing them, and it's like you can see how when different directors get their chance, sometimes they're very artistic and creative with it. Some you can tell are just cash grabs. Some are just so out there, you're like, why'd they even make this? So basically, if you like the genre, not the genre, if you like the cast, the vibe, that's what I'm more trying to say, the atmosphere of the movie, I'm sure you would like the other ones, unless they just go in a whole different path. So I'm willing to give them a try. I don't see why I wouldn't. The second one came out in 1998, a year after the first one. So I assume they were riding that wave, and they probably still had some more that they wanted to touch on. And then the third one, I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer, came out in 2006. And that's how you kind of know, probably trying to cash out. Now, I was 11 at the time that this one came out. I haven't seen it. Looking at the actresses in it and the actors in it, I'm not sure how much this even has to tie in with the other two. But then they went and they redid I Know What You Did Last Summer in 2025. Like a month ago it came out. So, and that has, I'm not going to spoil anyone in particular, but that has actors or actresses in it from the 90s, not from the 2006 one. So that makes me not as thrilled to see the third one in 2006. But hey, we're going to check it out. It's got a 3.3 on IMDb. A lot of bad movies are still kind of fun, so I'm hoping it's one of those. But yeah, just be wary of that one. I'm really just going to stand my ground on the first three Purge movies, number 1 and 2 in particular, and the first I Know What You Did Last Summer. Those are the three, if you get out of this video, that you should watch. The first Purge, and then if you enjoy, I don't want to say the ambiance or the atmosphere of that movie, but if you, like, not enjoy, but you know what I'm saying. Like, if that's more that you want to dive into and see how the world expands, then definitely number 2 is a great one. Number 3 probably would still, suit your fancy. There are some scenes actually in number 3 that stick out in my brain already. There's the light car. I'll just say that, the light car. Oh, there's a couple really good ones. Oh no, I'm mixing number 2. Yeah, I definitely watch number 2. Anyways, I'm ranting now. Recap: Purges 1 and 2, 1, 2, and 3. If you want to get at least the first trilogy, 1 and 2 definitely. And then I Know What You Did Last Summer, the first one from 1997. That's a classic. And probably watch I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, 1998. Always good to at least check out the first sequel, I guess, to see where it goes. And then once we get into other series where I've seen every single one of their movies, I'll be able to tell you just which ones you can skip and that type of thing. But for this, I don't want to stick my feet in my mouth too much for the movies I didn't watch, at least recently. So those are my 2 cents for those. And day 3 is already underway. We got a ton of movies to talk about tomorrow, and I'll see you then. Look forward for it. Look forward to it. Look forward for it. Whatever. We're messing up this ending now. I'll see you in the next one. Deuces.